Today, we're looking at the top 10 products to sell using print on demand. I made 6-figure profits last year, and in the beginning I really stumbled, but if I'd actually based my decisions off of data, then I would have hit my goals so much faster. So in this video, I'll walk through different products that can yield multiple 6 figures yearly if utilized correctly. Let's get into it. So as I mentioned, I've used a process called print on demand, and it goes something kind of like this. So you make an awesome design in a program like Canva. You then put that awesome design on a blank product like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, and then that image of the product goes up on Etsy. Then someone purchases the product, and when the order comes in, you actually make an order on Printify so that a print production partner can print your design on a blank product and actually just ship it right out to the customer. Super simple and super effective. But in order to actually sell something, you have to put it on a product and put it on something that actually sells. All decisions, in my opinion, has to be based off of data. So the first thing that we gotta do is that we gotta look at actually what sells. The best thing about Printify these days, if you've had at least 20 orders in the last 90 days, then you actually get access to something kind of a new feature that they call Printify Insights. And in those insights, we can actually get info about what's currently selling the most on the Printify platform. So I've taken out on a spreadsheet here based off of those insights to see what actually sells, and I based all my decisions off of that. So the number one product that's actually sold the best is the Vela Canvas 3001. It's a standard t-shirt, and I've personally sold so many of these. Initially I actually sold the Gildan 64,000, but due to more demand on this specific shirt, I actually switched all my shirts to the Bellas later on in my journey. Just to gauge how in demand the Bellas are and t-shirts overall are, we'll just head to Etsy, which is the marketplace that I sell most of my products on. So we'll head here, we'll just search for t-shirts for women. Now, I live in Sweden, so I gotta make some filter changes to make sure that I look at the right target markets. I only want to target the US, since that's the biggest market. And then we apply the Cassie Johnson hack. That's just choosing a star seller filter. And then in the search bar here, instead of having star in the search bar, you swap out star for best. And then you get all the given bestsellers for a niche. To go even further, I use a software called Everbee to just take all of these listings and then rank them to get all the analytics from them. And as I don't want to out any of my fellow Etsy sellers, I've blurred a lot of stuff here. This sorted by monthly revenue. So in the last 30 days, this one has sold for approximately $37,000. So Everbee just gives us a rough estimate depending on different variables within the listing, like reviews, like ranking, and so forth. But it's good to know that it's not an exact number and it can be a bit off. We can here see that there's lots of demand within the niche. And don't forget that all of these from the get are actually bestsellers, because if we go back into search here, since I put in my filter that I want only the bestsellers for this given keyword, all of these are bestsellers. Without even using Everbee, we can just see that there's a lot of demand for t-shirts still on Etsy. And of course, never do something like this. This is obviously trademarked. You cannot infringe on other people's property. So the second product category, since we're still on apparel, is actually sweatshirts. So we can see here in the spreadsheet that we got from Printify Insights that the Gildan 18,000 sweatshirt is basically the second best-selling product category on Printify. So I've talked about sweatshirts previously on this channel. I do know that there's a lot of demand for it, and I've sold those a lot myself as well. Let's see here. If we just head to the search bar again and then search for sweatshirts for women, then I have to apply my filters again since I'm a Swedish resident. And all we want to do is see if the product is actually selling on Etsy specifically well. And as I did before, I filtered out so that there's only bestsellers. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we have 5 pages with only bestsellers. And if we take a look at Everbee again, if we sort it by monthly sales, this first one has sold approximately, this could be off as this is kind of insane, but $155,000 in the last 30 days. Could be off, not sure, it sounds a bit too much. But this one, 44,000. This one, 21,000. This one 24,000. This one 20,000. All of these are revenue numbers, so this is not profit. But we can still see here that there's a lot of demand for sweatshirts, even when it's getting warmer now. Here in Sweden it's still a bit cold, but in the US there's lots of places that are kind of warm this time of year. So yeah, we can definitely see here that there's a lot of demand for sweatshirts on Etsy. A great product category to get in would be sweatshirts for sure. The third one that I would recommend to get into, according to data, would be hoodies. And that's the Gildan 18,500. Remember that these stats are taken from the last 90 days. So these are current stats. These are not from last year or the year before or even longer than that. These are current stats. I've sold tons of these as well. It's a super great product. And just from experience myself having these, I think they're super good. So if we take a look at hoodies for women, we do the same thing. This looks like it's not hoodies. This one is obviously a hoodie, but lots of these are sweatshirts. This one's a sweatshirt, this one's a sweatshirt, this one's a sweatshirt, this one's a sweatshirt, and so forth. But if we, for instance, head into this one, what's most likely going to show up, if we choose size here, we can actually choose the hoodie here. So in the variations, then there's actually a hoodie option to choose from. So these can be hoodies as well, which is why they're actually showing up for hoodies, since they probably have it in their SEO, because it's a variation in their listing. The fourth product to sell on Etsy, the youth shirt. The Gildan 5000B is a youth shirt. So let's search for teenage girl shirt. Apply the filters again. Always remember that, never do anything trademarked. So let's take this one, the Sweet 16. So if we want to head to kids clothing, I'd highly recommend to focus on teenagers so we can use the Gildan 5000B. All other kids clothings like onesies or for instance taller t-shirts. Yeah, basically all of the kids clothing is really expensive compared to adult shirts. So I'd highly recommend to focus on the Gildan 5000B only if you feel like you want to do kids clothing, as the other ones cost a lot more. Just for reference, if we take for instance Vela Canvas 3001 white, as I just mentioned, so this one for instance costs by Swift $647 and this costs $787. So that's basically a 21 to 22% more increase in cost. When you scale your business, it adds up a lot. So if you want to stick to this, I'd highly recommend to just stick to the Gildan 5000. Let's see if we can find some demand for this. Okay, now this is more accurate. These should be all available in youth shirts. So let's gauge this with our trusty Everbee. Sort this by monthly sales. Yep, lots of demand, 1,500 orders in the last 30 days, approximately 700, 600, 452, 320 almost. So yeah, definitely lots of demand right off the bat. And we can see here, yeah, oh, same with the sweatshirts, same with the hoodies, same with the t-shirts. Over 5 pages of just raw bestsellers. And if we just head to this, for instance, and we look at the size chart, we can see that they offer youth shirts. So if you want to head into this product category, I'd make sure to have the mock-up as a youth shirt to make sure that that's the biggest selling product. And then we can add some more variations for like for instance the onesies and the toddlers shirts. But we want to make sure that the biggest selling product is the youth shirts, so we actually are profitable with our business, as that's the most important thing when it comes to business, in my opinion. You gotta make it profitable. The last product that sells really well on Etsy and really well overall on Printify is actually a scented soy candle, and it's actually this one. This is a super good product and I've seen this all over Etsy. So let's just head into Etsy, gauge the demand. Soy candle. Over 5 pages, just like before, of just raw bestsellers and soy candles. And let's just check Everbee here. Sort this by monthly sales. 800 sales in the last 30 days. 500, 300, 313. Yeah, there's lots of demand for soy candles. And the funny thing about this is that we only customize this part on the actual soy candle. Then it comes in different types of scents. But all we do is put our design on this little part here. And if we have a great mock-up and just a great overall offer, This is a perfect, for instance, Mother's Day gift. Mother's Day is just currently up. Also a great gift for instance, Father's Day. I'd love something like this, personally. Also for the biggest part of the year, which is Q4, this is a perfect gift. And all we need to do is customize this part. If we also do, as I talked about in my design video, which you actually can find, let's see, in either here or here. If we make a custom design where the customer can actually customize their own message on this specific soy candle, that can be a super good seller for this product category. This one, for instance, is a custom scented soy candle listing. All you need to do with this type of design is just copy what they put in their personalization and then just put that onto the soy candle. It's just copy and paste. Super easy, goes super fast. Because it can feel intimidating to have lots of personalized orders, but with this type of design, all you need to do is just take text from point A, copy, and then paste into point B. Super easy to do. I think this is a great product category to get into, especially this time of year when Father's Day is coming up soon. If you're watching this when it's coming out, I think it's going to come out around late April, then it's a great time to just get into the Father's Day niche and put some custom Father's Day soy candles for sale. Alright, so we just talked about different products that you can sell using print on demand on Etsy. 10 products was a bit too much to fit in just one video, so if you'd like a part 2, just drop a comment down below and say part 2, and I'll make sure to cover the rest of the products for you. I'll see you in the next one.